in the air is because we have a tornado warning out for Penobscot County. And again, this is near the community of Steele in south of Caruthersville as well. There's the storm right there. It's over Interstate 55. We'll take a look while we've got it on the Paducah radar site. Let's take a look at the winds inside that storm. We're still seeing that right there. It's crossed on the other side of Interstate 55. So let's zoom in a little bit closer and get some more roads to pop up. And we'll get an idea of who's under the gun now for this possible tornado. Again, Brian, we don't have any ground truth yet, do we?
No, but Paducah did mention, their radar operator said that he also noticed that this was a very broad rotation, which is kind of what we're seeing from the Memphis radar site, too.
Yeah, the one that's in Penobscot County.
Mm-hmm.
And so you can see that we've got that inflow notch right here. This is likely where the tornado would be if it's on the ground, crossing Interstate 55 right now. There's not a lot here, thankfully, not a huge populated community, but there are homes in this area, especially along Missouri Highway 164 right there. That is where you definitely want to be in your safe spot. You can kind of see this tornado is going to parallel Highway 164. The rotation's located right here. It's moving off to the east at 25 miles per hour. So anywhere along this Highway 164 or close where Highway 164 crosses Interstate 55, you want to be in your basement if you have one. And again, if you don't have a basement, you get to that lowest interior room that you have in your house. Put as many walls between you and the outside as possible. Sometimes that's a closet, sometimes that's a bathroom. I say it all the time that sometimes the bathroom may not be the safest place because it's on an outside wall. You want as many walls to protect you from flying debris if we have any. Now we can take another look at this storm. Inside the storm, we'll take a look at the winds here and see if we have any idea. There's still that tight circulation. It's not extremely strong, but it touches with just two what we call pixels right here. So that tells me that rotation is very, very tight. There's some strong gusty winds on the back side of this storm, so it's very classic setup of what we would see. And a new little purple output right where that rotation is crossing the interstate. Let's see if we are picking up any debris signature. Probably not. That matches. I mean, it's a lowering, and it's a lowering in the correlation coefficient. Yes, Brian.
We did get a word from a spotter out of Memphis. A spotter seeing a wall cloud northeast of Steele, becoming rain obscured. So not seeing a tornado on the ground or a funnel, but apparently seeing a wall cloud with that storm northeast of Steele in the boot here.
All right, thanks, Brian. So we got a rotation right here crossing Interstate 55, and so from that storm spotter's viewpoint, he's looking north towards this storm. You can see this rain is wrapping around the rotation. And when we look at the debris signature, just strictly debris, we're not seeing anything, which is fantastic news. So it's probably not on the ground. But what has me concerned is this right here is lining up with that rotation. This could be just the start of some dust or some debris that's being wafted in the air because it correlates right with that rotation and this heavier reflectivity that we're seeing right here. So there's a possibility that we have a tornado with this storm. That's why we have that tornado warning out. And yes, this storm has produced a tornado already today just outside of Duncombe County. And that's why we're tracking the storm very, very closely and will continue to as long as it poses a threat to anybody that lives in our viewing area. Again, we issued that First Alert Action Day for just this type of scenario, to keep you informed that it could be an active weather day. It's not to say, hey, everybody's going to get severe weather, because we knew that wouldn't happen. What it was is to keep you informed and let you know that we're going to be here tracking this for you, and we want to make sure that you have the latest information available throughout the day and a way to get warning. So, moving up to the east at 25 miles per hour, here are some of the communities that will be impacted by this storm. You can see it's mainly just impacting extreme southeastern Penobscot County. I'm not even sure if the warning clips Lake County or not. It looks like it barely clips it, but Lake County in Tennessee, this is going to move off to your south. This is going to head towards Dyer County in Tennessee if it holds together here shortly. But right now, the rotation, at least on radar, is showing up in an area right near Steele. Is just to the northeast of Steele as we speak right now, as we continue to track this possible tornado. Again, radar indicates the spin in the air, and it's a lot weaker now on the Memphis site. It's a lot weaker, so that's some good news. We're probably seeing this this rotation die on out. It continues to flare up. We've been watching it.
By the way, it does not officially include Lake County. It's just
Thank you.
County.
It just looks like from ours that it just clips it there barely. So we have a severe thunderstorm warning in effect for parts of Livingston County in Kentucky, extreme southern Polk County in southern Illinois, and southeastern Massac County in southern Illinois. We've got another strong storm, not severe, but strong, moving into the Mayfield, Kentucky area, and other strong storms moving just to the north of Union City. And then we have, excuse me, of course, have that tornado warning out for Penobscot County, as radar indicated the possibility of a tornado that is moving across extreme southeastern Penobscot County as we speak. Other storms, you may be wondering, why are we on the air? It's not too bad where I live. I am getting some thunder and lightning, but it's not all that impressive. Well, there's a lot of storms out there, but there's only one right now in our eyes that could really cause significant damage or even possibly cause a loss of life. So that's why we're tracking this and making sure everybody in southeastern Penobscot County stays aware of where this storm is. You can see there is an awful lot of lightning with this system. So let's zoom back into the storm that we have the tornado warning on, and that is for southeastern Penobscot County. And we're going to have to zoom on down into the storm. We'll take another look at it from both radar perspectives. It changed over to the Memphis. I'm going to get it back to Paducah. There's Paducah. Let's see if I can get...
rotation looks a little weaker now on the Memphis.
Yeah, it looks a lot weaker on Memphis, which is telling me that the overall structure is probably dying down, and that's definitely some great news. And it's still there. You can see it on the Paducah site, but it's a lot weaker. There's that rotation. It's about to cross the river, and once it crosses the river, it's in Dyer County, and that's going to be kind of the responsibility of our friends and our sister station in Memphis. That kind of covers that area. So we're going to continue with this as long as we have that warning, or it looks as though parts of extreme southeastern Penobscot County are under the gun, but things are improving. And again, we're not seeing any rotation in any of the other storms right now across the heartland. This is the only one, and from our vantage point, it is getting much weaker. We can kind of just look at the overall wind speeds in the storm, and it's still there, very broad rotation, but nothing that is that tight couplet like we saw just about 10 minutes ago when we first came on the air with this storm. And you can see that here it is, lots and lots of heavy rain, lightning, and the possibility of some small hail as well. We'll take a look at the hail threat inside this to see if there's, especially that hail core on the north side of the storm, that is, and we're not seeing an awful lot in there. So this is basically just a very heavy rain, lightning, thunder, and gusty wind event that is moving off into extreme southeastern Penobscot County. You can see here's the Mississippi River, and this is Interstate 155 that comes out of Hayti. Again, Hayti, you're in the clear. Caruthersville, it's storming where you are, but you're not in the tornado warning. You're not under the gun for this tornado. This tornado rotation will stay just to get what I want to see what this highway is coming south of Caruthersville, so folks along it know as well that this is going to stay to your south. So Highway 84, yes, you're getting hit hard with rain, wind, and lightning and thunder, but the rotation appears as though it's going to stay just to your south. I know officially you're in the tornado warning. It wouldn't be a bad idea to be in your safe spot just in case. But as you can see, as we pan back down to the south, the actual possible tornado is to the south of this location, and it's moving to the east. Here's the inflow notch right here. This is where the rotation is. This is where the possible tornado would be as it moves towards the Mississippi River. You can see the northern parts of Highway 164. If you live close to that, I know there's a lot of farmsteads in this area. There's probably people that turn off 164, and this is all their land. That's where that rotation is. And again, it is moving off to the east right now towards the Mississippi River as we speak. Brian, anything else coming in from you guys?
I'm waiting. There's nothing on the chat out of Memphis, and as you say, it looks like it's about to cross the Mississippi in any event into Dyer County. But I'm wondering if people, all the traffic along 155, they should be able, well, I don't know about that. It could be rain wrapped, I suppose.
Yeah.
They might be able to see it, but they may not be able to.
I don't think they're going to be able to see it in that case. I think it's going to be definitely wrapped in rain because when you're looking from I-55, it's now east of you, so the rain's wrapping around the circulation. So severe thunderstorm warning now moving into the Livingston County area. That one will probably be dropped here. We have not had an extension, and it's almost out of that warning. And also the tornado warning, I have a pretty good feeling is going to be dropped. So we're probably going to be throwing things back to regular scheduled programming here in just a minute. Before we let you go, I want to take a couple of looks at a couple of storms, one that's moving in towards the Mayfield, Kentucky area right now to make sure that the winds inside this storm are behaving and we're not seeing any severe weather, and we're just seeing some very strong wind gusts the way it looks right now with that storm in Graves County, Kentucky. Secondly, we'll pan on down and look towards to the north of Union City. We're seeing a couple of strong storms, but so far these are behaving as well. Again, it's a tornado warning that is out for southern Penobscot County, southeastern Penobscot County. It is about to cross the river into Dyer County. We'll get another look at the winds inside the storm. We're not seeing much in the way of rotation with this. We'll zoom back in a little closer, and we can see there's definitely some weak rotation as greens are going towards Memphis here, red's going away. But it's very weak, it's very, very broad, and at this time it doesn't appear to be a tornado threat with this storm. So we're going to look inside it one more time before we throw it back to regular scheduled programming. But let's go ahead and put the markers up here and look. Again, it's very broad rotation. They just trimmed back the warning, Brian. Do you know what they said in the trimming? Or
no, they haven't. Let's see. Oh, here's something brand new.
We're looking at
radar indicated a severe thunderstorm producing a tornado was located near Heloise or near Carruthersville, moving east at 25. That's
with their update.
Yeah, it's not really near Carruthersville.
Right.
Here's something new. Okay, Penobscot storm still has an organized signature on reflectivity, only broad rotation.
Right, there you go.
Spotters have reported rotation cycling as well. So that kind of backs up what we're seeing.
Yeah.
Broad rotation.
It's very broad. So let's get it. Make sure it's real close to getting to the river before we throw things back. So we're going to stay with it for just a couple of more minutes. Again, this is a severe thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado. This is Penobscot County. Here's the communities of Steele. There's Carruthersville. Again, this storm is south of Carruthersville. This storm is now east of Steele. It's northeast of Cooter, and it will stay to the south of Union City. It will stay to the south of Martin. This will move in towards Dyersburg, Tennessee here over the next hour or so. This is the storm that earlier tonight did produce a tornado near Farrellville, Arkansas, and was showing tight rotation as it moved into Duplin County. If you're watching us at 6 o'clock, we've talked all about that, but things have weakened significantly with it right now, and that rotation is just extremely weak and broad. So what we're going to do right now is I'm going to back things up real quick, get everybody caught up to date, and then we're going to toss back to regular scheduled programming. Again, you're going to see that little red box in Penobscot County on the map there. That tornado, at least from our vantage point, is no longer there, and it's going to be crossing the Mississippi River here very, very shortly, and that warning will likely be canceled. We've seen the severe thunderstorm warning for the Paducah area has been dropped, so right now the only warning is for that tornado warning in Penobscot County, but it seems to have weakened significantly and no longer poses a threat to anyone in Penobscot County. And with that said, we're going to throw things back to regular programming, but if that changes, we'll jump right back in and let you know.